Contemporary space-age development started after World War II, and it started on July 16, 1945, when the creation of the first atomic bomb came to fruition in the United States and was tested at the Alamogordo, New Mexico, at a site called Trinity. The atomic bomb had two objectives: a quick end of World War II and possession by the US that would allow control of foreign policy. On August 29, 1949, the Soviet Union detonated its first atomic bomb at the Semipalatinsk test site in Kazakhstan. This event ends America's monopoly of atomic weaponry and launches the Cold War. In the 50s, the arms race became the focus of the Cold War. America tested the first hydrogen bomb in 1952, beating the Russians in the creation of the super bomb. The political climate of the Cold War became even more defined in 1954, when the US Secretary of State John Foster Dulles announced the policy that came to be known as massive retaliation. Any major Soviet attack would be met with a massive nuclear response. As a result to the challenge of the massive retaliation came the most significant byproduct of the Cold War, the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, or the ICBM. In October 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first satellite, named Sputnik, to be hurled into the orbit around the Earth. Sputnik was actually no larger than a beach ball and sent meaningless signals back to Earth, but it had a profound effect on the thinking of citizens and governments around the globe. It was a shiny steel sphere of about 23 inches across with 4 antennas trailing behind it. And Russian engineers wanted to make sure that people around the world could both see and hear it. It was polished so it would reflect light that could be seen with naked eye, even from 175 miles up in the sky. And it broadcast a kind of a beep-beep pattern of signals that could be picked up by amateur radio operators around the world. This launch of the Sputnik created an unbelievable paranoia. And I want you to look at this video that tells the whole story.
Once in a great while in the history of a nation, there comes a moment when a change occurs that affects everyone. At a moment like this, people know that something fundamental has shifted, that forevermore their lives will be divided into what came before it and all that will follow after it. The film you are about to see tells the story of one of these moments that took place in America roughly 50 years ago.
Johnny is my given name. America's my nation. The schoolhouse is my learning place. In heaven my destination.
The Sputnik moment. It was October 4th, 1957. A Friday evening. For most Americans, life was, as they said at the time, normal. Just about everyone has been following the World Series, where the legendary New York Yankees were facing the upstart Milwaukee Braves. Also this evening, millions of families were gathering to watch the premiere of a new TV show.
What's the matter, Bader? You look peculiar.
Oh, I think a piece of my milk got stuck in my throat.
Normal. "7,000 miles away, in deepest secrecy, engineers working for our arch-enemy, Soviet Russia, were putting the final preparations on a rocket that would carry a 23-inch aluminum sphere, polished so that it would shine like a star. Although no one knew it yet, what these scientists and engineers were about to do would change America and the world forever.
Moments of farewell. Photographers are taking their last shots. Our space rocket is ready in the center of the cosmodrome. The countdown begins. Now only a few moments remain. A mighty roar. Our rocket vibrates. White hot flame gushes down. And the great beast lives slowly from the earth. We are about to create a new planet that we will call Sputnik.
The first artificial Earth satellite in the world has now been created. This first satellite was today successfully launched in the USSR.
The space race between Soviet Union and the United States was really on when Sputnik went up. But our first attempts at catching up ended up in spectacular explosions. Sputnik launch was followed by what the press called the US Flopnik launch, when a US rocket blew up. And NASA then was created in 1958 to bring competing military space program into one effort. Soon they developed the rockets, built the space capsules and satellites, and hired astronauts to become spacemen. The long-term effects of this space race changed the educational system, it changed the imagination of everybody, and it just entered into popular cultures in so many different ways. Governments put in more money into the educational system, and students began to get more math and science courses as a result of this space race.